Welcome back to From the Pages of WWF Magazine, June 1990. This issue exists in a very specific moment in World Wrestling Federation history, and the magazine makes that clear immediately. The cover language alone is loaded with consequence. WrestleMania 6 is not treated as a recap, but as a dividing line. The Ultimate Warrior is framed as standing one step toward history, while Hulk Hogan is positioned as one step toward immortality. Those phrases are not casual. They establish that something fundamental has shifted, that the WWF is no longer simply celebrating its past, but redefining its future. Around those central ideas, the cover teases conflict and pressure, with Big Boss Man targeting the $1 Million Man, Earthquake looming as a destructive force, Demolition under threat from the Hart Foundation, and Macho King Randy Savage presented as royalty with something to say. The cover reads like a roadmap for what comes next. Opening the magazine, the reader is immediately met with an advertisement rather than editorial content. The inside front cover belongs to TCA, the official travel agency of the World Wrestling Federation. This is not a flashy wrestling ad. Instead, it focuses on logistics, scale, and reality. The copy explains that the WWF moves hundreds of performers, crew members, and staff members across thousands of events each year. It emphasizes the difficulty of booking flights and accommodations for bodies of every size, including a 7'4", 500-pound giant. This ad quietly grounds the spectacle of wrestling in the grind of constant travel, reminding the reader that behind the characters and storylines is a massive touring machine. The publication information follows, clearly identifying the issue as June 1990, Volume 9, Number 6. Copyright notices, subscription details, and mailing information fill the page. It is a moment of pause, a reminder that WWF Magazine is not a souvenir, but a formal publication tied directly to Titan Sports. The professionalism of the presentation reinforces the WWF's corporate confidence at this stage. The table of contents lays out the issue with precision. The features are listed prominently, with WrestleMania 6 positioned as the centerpiece. Surrounding it are individual spotlights that reflect the shifting power structure of the WWF. Macho King Randy Savage is promised a full interview. Earthquake is framed as an emerging threat. The Hart Foundation's pursuit of Demolition anchors the tag team division. Big Boss Man's hunt for the $1 Million Man brings law and order into focus. Jake the Snake. Robert's desire for Bad News Brown adds personal intensity. The department's list reads like a familiar ritual, offering comfort and consistency to regular readers through recurring columns, puzzles, trivia, and fan interaction. The issue begins in earnest with editors' comments. The editorial voice is reflective but assertive. WrestleMania 6 is acknowledged as history, but the emphasis is on ownership. The editor stresses that WWF Magazine provides access, photography, and insight that no other publication can match. WrestleMania is framed as something that will continue to live across WWF media, including future issues and companion publications. There is also a promotional note about an upcoming WWF Wrestling Spotlight issue centered on the $1 Million Man, reinforcing how interconnected the WWF's print universe has become. Around the ring and newsbreakers follow, shifting the tone from reflection to motion. These sections exist to keep the reader oriented in the post-WrestleMania landscape. Short items, notes, and developments move quickly, creating the sense that the WWF never stops. Even after its biggest event, the machine keeps turning. The fan forum expands the magazine's voice beyond the editorial staff. Letters from readers fill the pages, and a significant portion of the feedback centers on Jesse Ventura. Fans argue about his credibility, his tone, and his willingness to criticize popular figures like Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. Some defend him as honest, others condemn him as biased. The editors mostly stay out of the debate, allowing the arguments to stand on their own. The result is a snapshot of a divided but deeply engaged fan base. Body Language arrives next, and it feels confrontational by design. Jesse the Body Ventura's column leans into controversy. His opinions are strong, his language blunt, and his willingness to challenge WWF narratives is positioned as a feature, not a flaw. Whether readers agree or not, the column demands attention and fuels discussion, which the magazine clearly understands. One of the issue's major anchors is the WWF interview, a talk with Macho King Randy Savage. The interview format allows Savage to speak in character, reinforcing his royal persona. The tone is dramatic and self-assured. Savage is not presented as reflective or uncertain. Instead, he is positioned as a man who believes he belongs at the top even in the aftermath of WrestleMania 6. The layout and pacing give his words room to resonate. The centerpiece of the issue is Battle of the Titans, the WrestleMania 6 feature. This section is expansive and deliberate. Match results are presented alongside large photo spreads that freeze moments of impact, emotion, and consequence. The event is treated as something worthy of preservation. The photography does much of the work, allowing readers to linger on expressions, collisions, and celebrations. WrestleMania 6 is framed not just as a show, but as a turning point captured in print. Following WrestleMania, the magazine pivots toward what comes next with the earthquake feature. The question posed is simple and ominous. Can Hulk Hogan evade his shockwaves? Earthquake is not framed as a technical challenger. He is presented as a force defined by mass, power, and destruction. The language emphasizes inevitability, suggesting that survival, not victory, may be the real challenge. Heart of the Matter brings focus back to the tag team division. The Hart Foundation is portrayed as methodical and determined, targeting axe and smash of Demolition. The article leans into strategy and rivalry, reinforcing the importance of teamwork and cohesion in a division built on chemistry rather than individual dominance. The Big Boss Man feature follows, casting him as an enforcer of justice and in pursuit of the $1 Million Man. The framing is straightforward and effective, authority versus arrogance, law versus wealth. The feud is presented as moral as much as physical. Jake the Snake Roberts then takes center stage, with emphasis on his desire for a one-on-one confrontation with Bad News Brown. The tone is personal and tense. This is not about rankings or championships. It is about settling something directly. The personality profile on the Orient Express slows the pace, offering background and definition. This is followed by Private Eye, focusing on Hulk Hogan's vitamin line. The feature blends branding, lifestyle, and star power, reminding readers that WWF personalities extend beyond the ring. WWF Lowdown delivers brief updates and notes, while Viewpoint, featuring the Bushwhackers, adds contrast and humor to the magazine's voice. Interactive sections like the WWF Trivia Test and WWF Crossword invite readers to engage actively rather than passively. Caught in the Act provides candid photography, breaking away from pose shots and match action to show unexpected moments from the WWF world. Advertisements are everywhere, and they matter. Full-page ads promote the WWF Fan Club, highlighting membership perks like cassette tapes, autographed photos, stand-up figures, and dog tags. Other ads push the WWF merchandise catalog, action figures, Ben-Dems, thumb wrestlers, and the Hulkamania workout line. Each ad reinforces the WWF as a lifestyle brand, encouraging fans to buy, collect, and identify. As the issue winds down, the balance shifts toward advertising density, a familiar rhythm for readers of the era. The magazine closes quietly, having done its job not just as entertainment but as documentation. WWF Magazine, June 1990, captures a company in motion, standing at the edge of a new era. See you next time. Farewell from the Empire State.